Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to talk about the long-awaited versus video. The Pixel 9 Pro Fold versus the Galaxy Z Fold 6. This is going to be an interesting discussion because both of these devices are too solid in their own right. Too solid. I mean, look at that. Just, ooh. I know I got the case on this one, but it's too solid. But there are some crucial differences that really hold people back from using one versus the other. Whether it's a software reason, whether it's a hardware reason, maybe it's both. But this the conversation right here is going to be pretty good. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It's all free. That way it's videos, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. I definitely appreciate you guys' support along this journey, being able to appreciate technology in this way. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. I can taste it. And that's when things are going to really start getting rolling. So I definitely appreciate you guys' continued support and engagement in the comment section, being able to conversate with each other as well as myself as we continue to build this community. So let's continue to do that. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. And we're going to start off with hardware. The Pixel 9 Pro Fold. As you see, the device is wider than the Galaxy Z Fold 6. As you guys can see there, you can see just how much wider. And that amount of width is what turns on a lot of customers when it comes to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold over the Galaxy Z Fold 6. They like the more wide approach, being able to type with both hands, or maybe even one hand, ergonomically. People feel like the 9 Pro Fold feels better in the hand than the Galaxy Z Fold 6. For me personally, I have no problem with either device being in hand. And to me, I can rock either one. I don't really have much of a preference for either one. I love the Galaxy Z Fold 6, the slim nature, being able to swipe text. I can adjust no problems and adapt to this form factor. I also like this form factor where I can hold it like this. It feels natural because of the amount of just slabs, used in the past. But then also, it's a lot easier to type with two hands on this one if I want to go type two hands. Sometimes I have to do a little hand gymnastics if I want to swipe text. But handonomics wise, this works very well with two hands. And it works very well when it comes to productivity on the cover display. Whereas the Galaxy Z Fold 6, because of its more slim nature, it is not as much you can get done on the display. I mean, you got a little bit, right? But if you really wanted to get the most out of this, you're going to have to unfold to get the most out of this. Now, this probably isn't the best app to showcase that. The best app to probably do that is Instagram or YouTube, right? So when scrolling in this way, you're going to notice and see just how much more beautiful the device is going to look from that perspective. And then, of course, continuing back on the cover screen, now you can get to scroll on, and it still looks relatively pleasant. It's just more slim in nature. And so this slim nature is what really kind of holds some people back. However, when picking back up the Galaxy Z Fold 6, people like the slim nature because it feels better in the pocket. It's a lot more easier to be portable. It's lighter than the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And so when you consider using the device from that perspective, it feels better from that way. And to me, I see both points of view. I have no preference on either one because at the end of the day, I like technology. If I don't really like some, y'all gonna definitely know. But I can live with either one of these devices, which is why I changed my mind on selling the Galaxy Fold 6. I'm selling both of them. Either one can go, and I will keep the other one happily. I'll be just fine. So if you're interested in the Galaxy Fold 6, DM me on Instagram or Twitter/X. Or if you're interested in the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, DM me in the same places. Whichever one sells first, I'm keeping the other one. So that's how I'm looking at it, because now using both of these devices, I'm comfortable with both of them because I see the vision from Google with this device. I see the Google with Samsung from this device, including the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition, and the hopes that this gets a little bit wider with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Not to say that I have any problems with it, but I can see in the grand scheme of things why widening this makes sense, because you get a better aspect ratio when unfolded, like similar to this with the upcoming Galaxy Z Folds. The special edition does widen out to about 8 inches, and even though it's a little bit more I don't want to say stiff because this feels more kind of round and gentle. Whereas when you look at the Z Fold 6, you're like, okay, what are we doing here? So let me go ahead and log in there. And so as you guys can see, you're kind of like, okay, it does seem like it's a little, I mean, it is definitely wider. It's definitely wider. If you guys can see that there. Definitely wider. And with the Galaxy Fold Special Edition and the upcoming Z Fold 7, it should match this aspect ratio. I'm wondering, will it have these nice soft round edges that I really like with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold? Or will it still keep this more kind of sharp portrait look with the Galaxy Z Fold 6? It remains to be seen. I know the Galaxy S25 series looks like it's rounding things out, so it's a very good chance that the Galaxy Z Folds are going to look very similar. And if you want a reference point, the Flip series is rounded in nature and less pointy. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what we get out of these devices coming up here soon when it comes to Samsung's upcoming Galaxy Z Folds and what Google decides to do with the Galaxy or with the Pixel 9 Pro or 10 Pro Fold or Pixel Fold 3. Their naming scheme is going to get weird with the next one. Will they maintain this or will they change it again? That's going to be interesting to see. Now, when it comes to software, this is where things get interesting. If you notice here, this is my layout on my cover display. This is my layout on my main display. But if you notice, herein lies a problem. This right here is the cover display. You cannot change this. If you change this, it's going to look the same regardless. That's where the lack of software ingenuity comes in, surprisingly, with Google, is separating the cover display from the main display on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. This is the second page of the cover display. And then the third page is more additional stuff laid out. But of course, if you want to make it look interesting, you would have to add more stuff there in order to really flesh out your pages in the main display, something I haven't done. So we need more software improvements, customization, if you will, or freedom when it comes to the cover display versus the main display on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. But with the Galaxy Z Fold 6, you have versatility. This is the layout of my main screen. This is my layout of my cover screen. Looks completely different, and that's because Samsung gives you that option within the settings to separate your cover screen from your main screen to give you that personal touch of your device. And as we dive deeper into settings and software features in general, Samsung has baked way more focused features for the foldable, for the flip, in terms of using the fold and the flip to their max than the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Google has not really done a lot of feature focusing with their fold, and that's why Samsung easily takes the win over over Google when it comes to software. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 wipes the floor, and Samsung wipes the floor against a lot of the competition when it comes to software, because Samsung thinks about the user in mind when it comes to the software. And Google, in ways, is kind of sort of trying to be like Apple, where they're a little bit more vanilla, a little bit more laid back. They don't have as many, even though the software works for the most part, they don't give you as much to work with. But that changed on Apple's side. Apple's giving users a lot more customization now. And hopefully Google is going to be doing that on their end as well, because you can't have a very nice, pristine piece of hardware like this and it's held back by software. That's just a no-no, because aesthetically pleasing, but it's hollow. It's a hollow device when you think about it from a software perspective, and we need more ingenuity when it comes to software. I mean, look at this, the app drawer. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like this, it just doesn't look that great. The suggestion down here at the bottom is cool, but come on. Now, if we're in an app, we swipe up. Okay, you get a nice little mini taskbar in that way. That's cool, right? And then you got to swipe up for real if you want to adjust things. I like how things look different in terms of swiping through that. That's cool. You know, that's what's up. That's what's up. But then, like, okay, let's come over here, bow, and okay, we open the JW Library app. But let's say we're in here. Let's go to YouTube. my favorite play. Or let's go back to Instagram. We go back to Instagram, and then we press and hold. We can bring the taskbar up that way and actually leave it permanent, or we can drop it and then swipe up if we want to swipe through apps. So again, it's those small details, not not to mention the edge panel when it comes to Samsung. You have so much versatility when it comes to software, and including being able to stack your widgets. And it's just kind of like, Google, what are you doing? Why are you not bringing this to your device? And so when you consider that from that perspective, what I mean, you're winning when it comes to Samsung and software. And this is where it gets interesting. Battery life. The battery is bigger on the 9 Pro Fold, thus the battery life does do better than the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Now, I think statistic-wise, Samsung still shows you that information. So if I come in here to battery, you see it says right there, full charge will last about 3 days, 1 hour. Now this is more recent because I haven't been using it as much since I've been using this over the course of the last week and a half. But this would otherwise say probably about 24 hours to 1 day and like 2 hours, somewhere in there. I can get a day in 2 hours. I can get a day, maybe even 10 hours out of this device when using it on a regular basis. Today, last charge 100%, that was 2 days, 21 hours ago. And right now, phone's got 7% left. So you definitely can see and notice this phone's got fantastic standby life or standby battery when it comes to just hanging out and chilling. But using it, you're gonna have to charge it within the day's use or so. The Pixel 9 Pro Fold can go. And as I've shown in a previous video, if you try to check battery out, it doesn't really quite tell you how long it will last. It lets you know your screen usage time, but it doesn't, and your app usage time, but it doesn't tell you much about your actual day or how long it will typically last for. So it's very, very strange that's not here anymore. And I hope they bring that back because it should be here. That's just running. Yeah, no, we're not trying to do no diagnostics from that perspective. But battery life is better on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. It is what it is. But the battery is not bad in my opinion on the Z Fold 6. It's just 200 milliamps bigger when it comes to the 9 Pro Fold, and Google has done a great job of improving battery life through their software sophistication, if you will. Samsung's gotten a whole lot better with their software sophistication, and that's why battery life has tremendously improved over time with the Galaxy devices in general. Case in point, the Galaxy S24 Plus, although not here, fantastic battery life for a 6.7-inch device. It doesn't have the S Pen, so there's nothing seeping on it, but the battery life reigns supreme on the Galaxy S24 Plus. That's a device I actually miss, and I'm rocking foldables right now. The Galaxy S24 Plus is a beautiful device. So you're not going to go wrong with battery life overall. Just know it's bigger and a little more beefier with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, so they take the win there. Hardware-wise, they both get a win. So when you think about it, I guess technically the Pixel 9 Pro Fold has more checkpoints in terms of hardware and battery life versus hardware and, oh no, it's tied. Hardware and software, hardware and battery life. But when you think about what really means the most, hardware and software would technically win. And because I'm a big Samsung guy anyway, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 would be my preferred device to rock overall. But it does not mean that I cannot rock this full time without the Galaxy Z Fold 6, because I've also been enjoying the use here. And if we want to just throw a notable mention in there when it comes to camera quality, both of them have good cameras. I've showcased camera life with this device, taking pictures of devices myself out in the sun. Great, fantastic. I won't say fantastic, but really good cameras with the Galaxy Z Fold 6. But we also definitely hope they finally improve the hardware. Google, weirdly, still good battery. Oh my goodness, camera life, but not the greatest. And Google used to be the computational photography king, and I don't know what happened. They've been slipping. And so hopefully the next iteration, they actually put in newer camera modules, really for both devices. They're both lacking. They're like a generation or two behind when it comes to actual camera module hardware. And so hopefully we get that will now actually reinforce and help the computational side of the photography. But these are my thoughts on these two devices. Let me know down in the comment section below, what device are you rocking or would you want to rock? Would be your favorite to rock or want to rock? Are you even in the foldables? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, do notification bell. It's all free. That way, it's a video, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. Don't forget to hit that super things button down there by the like and dislike button. Cash App and PayPal. Check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's way to keep tech fresh and alive on this channel. Jermaine Micah signing out until the next video. Wait for it.